Hello and welcome to the Temple of Enlightenment International Spiritual Center. My name is Issachar Bey, and I want to thank all of you for tuning in. Thank you so much for being a part of our weekly teaching. If this is your first time, please let us know what city, what state, or what country you're listening from. We are here every week, same place, same time. And so I want to thank all of you for your uh, contributions, your consistency, and helping us to keep growing and um, become more visible and market and promote ourselves. And so we want to thank all of you. Last week, I went back to the money mindset manifestation, and we talked about wealth codes. If you didn't get a chance to listen to that, go ahead and listen to last week's because I found that it was very interesting with the wealth codes. And the wealth codes are definitely something that I feel that we all need to definitely lock in with. The wealth codes are what I believe will definitely put you in the right place for next year, for 2026. And if you start operating in those wealth codes, you're going to see some great things transpire and really take effect in your life. So everybody is born with a wealth code. The wealth code will show you how to make money. It will show you in this incarnation that you were born in how you can make money. So definitely, I would summon you to go ahead and listen to that so that you can lock in and be connected with that. We are so close to 2026, and I also want to let you guys know if you want a consultation with me, go ahead and click on the link, schedule a consultation. I've been doing consultations all week. There are still times that are available. We will make room for you. We will take care of you. But the thing about it is this. The consultations are to give you insight, give you the availability to know when, where, how, why, who, and to give you the opportunity to be in the right place at the right time and also to manifest what it is that you want to do in 2026. So it's extremely important. Some people already know where they want to go. They know where they are, and they may need a roadmap. They may need somebody to show them how to get there. So go ahead and click that button because everybody's situation is different. I just want to make sure that everybody is in the right place at the right time, moving in the right direction, and that we all are winning for the year 2026. And so I'm excited. I'm looking forward to connecting with a lot of you and really being connected with you and really getting into this 2026 year so that we can move forward and really look at how we can be successful, how we can be moving to a level of greatness, moving to a high level of consciousness, how we can make more money, create more streams of income. And so I think it's imperative that we get together and talk about some things. Listen to this. Whoever is in your ear will determine your year. I'm going to say that again. Whoever is in your ear will determine your year. That's why it's important that you stay connected to teachings and stay connected to communities like this. Because if you keep listening to this kind of teaching and you keep listening to this kind of information, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, things will begin to happen in your life. There will be shifts and movements, and there will be things happening and elevations, because it's imperative for you to sit under this kind of teaching and be in this community and not be affected by the teachings and the different things that are happening. So it's extremely imperative that we do that. I have a lot that I want to cover today. We are continuing from our 2026, and we're talking today about awakening the millionaire mindset within. The millionaire mindset. Everybody has a millionaire mindset. It just has to be awakened. It has to be activated. And so I want to talk a little bit about that today, because I believe that in 2026, where we're going, I believe that we're going to succeed. I think that we're going to make it. I think that that there is nothing that can stop us. There's nobody that can stop us, that can hinder us, the only person that can stop you is you. And so I'm excited about 2026, and I think that this is going to be something that's going to be extremely, extremely great. And it's definitely time for us to get into that. If you can, go ahead and get into a comfortable position. As we block out all noise, disruption, anything that's hindering, we want to get into a quiet place so that we can tap in, that we can lock in and become connected to source. We want to have the availability to really connect and lock in. I want you to go ahead and take a deep breath. Inhale and exhale. Again, take a deep breath and inhale and exhale. Take a deep breath and inhale and exhale. I center myself right now in the infinite presence, the one power, the one source, the one mind that governs every idea, every opportunity, every resource, every stream of wealth that will ever come into my life. I recognize that I'm not separate from abundance. I am connected to it. I am not outside of supply. I am inside the flow of it. I am not chasing prosperity. I am attracting it through consciousness. My mind is the workplace of wealth. My imagination is the treasury of infinite supply. My thoughts are the signatures on the checks I write in my own destiny. I dissolve every belief that ever suggested I was small. I release every mental imprint of lack, limitation, and fear. These illusions have no power in the presence of infinite intelligence. I accept new truth today. I am worthy of wealth. I am destined for increase. I am aligned with divine ideas. I am receptive of financial blessing. I am a vessel for overflow. I am the millionaire mind in motion. Everything in my life rearranges itself to support my greatness. I release this word into the universal mind where it cannot return void, but must manifest, must multiply, and it must materialize. And so it is, and so it is. Ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor if you can and go ahead and hit the like button. Also, if you find any of our teachings or the teaching from today to be something that you find very valuable to yourself, or you feel like it would be valuable to your loved ones or friends, go ahead and hit the share button, copy the link, text it, email it to them. Let them know that we're here every Sunday, same place, same time. Awakening the millionaire mindset within. You don't become a millionaire when you get the money. You actually become a millionaire when you get the mind. Because in retrospect, the mind is really where everything is. Money is the last thing to show up, not the first. I heard somebody say the easiest thing for me to do was to make $1 million. The hardest thing for me to do is to believe that I can do it. The mind. There we go with the mind. The universe delivers wealth based on identity, not desire. Your mind is the architect. Your beliefs are the foundation. Your thoughts are the blueprint. Your emotions are the electricity. Your actions are the construction crew. If your inner blueprint is weak, your financial life will be wobbly. If your inner blueprint is strong, your financial future becomes inevitable. Vision creates vibration. When you repeatedly see, intentionally becomes what you receive externally. What you repeatedly see internally becomes what you receive externally. Belief determines blueprint. You cannot outperform your deepest beliefs about yourself. Internal language shapes external wealth. Money responds to your internal self-talk. Emotional regulation equals financial regulation. Your emotional climate is your financial atmosphere. Spiritual laws rule all money. The universe funds the aligned, not the anxious. What you see, you receive. The imagination is the first financial institution. Your inner picture is your first paycheck. Your vision is your first deposit. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you repeatedly imagine. See, when we get ready to activate this millionaire mindset, a lot of things will change, ladies and gentlemen. Because once you activate that millionaire mindset, you start looking at things differently. You start talking differently, interested in things differently. The things that you used to be interested in, you have no desire for anymore. Most people rehearse fear. Bills, lack, struggle, but you must rehearse abundance, expansion, and overflow. Your imagination is memory in advance. The man who visualized his building before he ever owned it eventually walked into the reality he mentally rehearsed. Why? Because the subconscious mind believes what it sees often. See yourself engaging with money confidently, receiving money, tipping money, circulating, investing, celebrating. You are spending spiritually long before you spend physically. And I'm only using the word spend, as you will see, because I want you to get an understanding of the concept of money. But when we talked about money, we really use the word circulate, because in the word spend is the word end. And we like to circulate our money because that means that when we circulate our money, we realize that circulating your money means that you are circulating it, releasing it so that it comes back to its original point of origin. Everything begins with a thought. Thought is the raw material. Your ideas is the gold. Belief is the furnace. Your action is the mold. And income is the final product. I like to call this the alchemy of thought. Your thoughts plus your feelings plus your frequency plus your attraction equals the outcome. You cannot hold wealthy thoughts with poor feelings. Emotion charges the thought with magnetism. The thoughts are your sparks. The belief is the heat. Your feelings are the vibrations. Your actions is the crystallization. And the outcome is the manifestation. You ask yourself this question: what thoughts are too small for the future I desire? Because some thoughts we shouldn't even be thinking. Like, you should be saying to yourself, these thoughts are too small. I have bigger thoughts. That's why when you have a consultation with me, we look at where you are. We look at where you want to go. We look at what you want to accomplish in 2026. We look at how could you put yourself in how could you become a better version of yourself? And what I'm finding out is that a lot of people don't even know who they are. They don't even know why they were put in this incarnation. They don't know what their purpose, their destiny is. So we deal with that first. How wealth flows spiritually, emotionally, and energetically, there are two economies. The outer economy is chaotic, unpredictable. The inner economy is emotional, spiritual, energetic, personal. The inner economy governs the outer results. Money flows where energy flows. Money avoids emotional turbulence. Money responds to vibrational readiness. Circulation is the highest law of wealth. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that's important, because if you ever study the rich and the wealthy, they normally don't have money. And what I mean by that is they buy assets. They keep their money circulating. They have stocks, real estate. They keep the money circulating and moving. Very rarely do you see where they have a lot of cash on hand. Money must move to multiply. It moves towards gratitude, confidence, clarity, generosity, and emotional stability. Money retracts and retreats from fear, guilt, shame, hoarding, and resentment. Every time you spend, you should say this: I circulate abundance and it returns multiplied. Wealth requires a blueprint. It requires structure. It requires identity alignment. Remember, you only get out of life what you are. So that identity principle is important. Now, when we talk about the structure, the blueprint, there's a couple of things I want to look at here. Because for a blueprint, you are now moving into becoming an architect, because an architect is what creates the blueprint. Visionaries sees the future. A strategist builds the scaffolding. The executor takes aligned action, And the regulator maintains vibration and self-worth. You got to tear down the old internal architecture, the inherited lack, the generational scarcity, the self-doubt, the survival thinking, and the guilt around receiving. Those are the things that need to be removed. Write your wealth blueprint based on your purpose, your standards, your structure, your vision, and your identity. One of the things that when we get ready to activate the millionaire's mind is we look at circulating. We look at where your attention is. Your attention reveals your beliefs. It reveals your worthiness. It reveals your emotional triggers, your identity. You must become a divine circulator. Every time you make a purchase, it becomes a ritual of abundance. I circulate this form overflow and it returns multiplied. Bills become gratitude. Purchases become blessings. Giving becomes planting. Because see, every time you release funds or every time you release money, you are under the you already have it in your consciousness about circulation that is coming back to you. So yes, when you pay your bills, you're paying them with gratitude. When you make purchases, you're actually realizing that you're blessing. It's a blessing to be able to make those purchases. And then when you give, you're actually planting a seed that will eventually come back to you. Your vibration becomes your validation. Money corresponds to vibration, not vocabulary. You can say I'm wealthy, but your energy screams fear. The universe responds to the vibration, not the sentence. The wealth frequency formula, thought plus emotion plus expectation equals vibration. I'll say that again. The wealth frequency formula states that your thoughts plus your emotions plus your expectations equal vibration. Raise your frequency with gratitude, peace, joy, and embodiment. Normalize abundance, and normalizing activates receiving. I tune my mind to abundance. I am a magnet for wealth. Wealth as a lifestyle, identity, and daily practice. Wealth is not what you have. Wealth is how you show up. Wealth is not what you have. Wealth is how you show up. And when you realize the identity aspect of it, you know, if everybody's looking at their life right now, you ask yourself the question, what do I identify as? Because you only get in life what you are. So if you're not where you want to be, then you have to ask, how do I identify myself? What am I identifying as? Because you only get what you are. You know, are you the survivor? Are you the underdog? Are you the giver who can't receive? Are you the almost there version? you will want to change those identities maybe to something like a visionary, the leader of self, the receiver, the embodied millionaire. Now, when we say millionaire, we're using the concept millionaire because everybody knows what a millionaire is. Everybody understands the importance or the value when we use the word millionaire and we talking about activating the millionaire's mind within. We begin to understand and look at this from that perspective to say, I have a millionaire's mind within me, and to activate it, to awaken it, is going to be a major shift in the life, because once your mind expands, it can never go back to its original form. So there's going to be major, 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 major change in your life. And once that shift happens, I recommend you grab a journal, something to write, because you're going to get a lot of ideas, you're going to get a lot of concepts, questions, different things that will begin to start to expand in your life. One of the things you don't want to do is you don't want to act wealthy, you want to embody wealth. And what does embodiment look like? Embodiment looks like that you walk wealth, you talk wealth, you live wealth, you breathe it. You wake up in the morning and say stuff like, increase goes before me today. Your identity is the command center of your wealth. If a person identifies as a doctor, they identify as a doctor. If a person identifies as a nurse, they identify as a nurse. They identify as a musician. They identify as a actor or a lawyer. What do you identify as? Because you only get out of the life what you become. Life gives to the giver and takes from the taker. And when you begin to activate that millionaire's mindset, there may be somebody listening right now. And the reason why I'm saying this is because, the most difficult thing to deal with is outside, the outer ramifications or the outer realm compared to the inner realm. So there may be some people listening right now that says, look, man, I can go ahead and activate my millionaire mindset, but I don't have no money. And so I just explained to you that the way to get the millions, the way to change your life happens in the mind first. It happens in the mind first, because once you identify and get into your identity, now things start showing up as within, so without. As within, so without. So yes, I tap into becoming the millionaire mindset. I tap into the millionaire mindset first. I think like the millionaire. I walk like the millionaire. I talk like the millionaire. I breathe like the millionaire. All of that. And then what happens now is that now you begin to go through a major shift in life, because now what's going on the inside is a direct reflection of what will begin to happen on the outside or in your physical reality. So it doesn't matter what's going on in the outside now. We are activating the millionaire mindset within you. And I believe that once you get that activated, you'll really begin to see some things unfold. You begin to move those blocks, the money blocks or the identity blocks, the blocks of lack, of scarcity, of not enough, or I'm not good enough, or maybe it's not for me. Because a lot of times people believe that being rich and wealthy are only for certain people. No, I say this all the time. Everybody in life is dealt a hand. It doesn't matter how good or bad that hand is. But what's important is how you play that hand to win. But everybody has an opportunity to become rich and wealthy based on your mindset. Everything is mind. M-I-N-D, mind. When you marry somebody, you're marrying their mind. And if anybody's married right now, you can understand that. Oh my God, he's just so difficult. The way he thinks, the way he operates. You married his mind. You didn't marry his looks. You married his mind. You're in a partnership. You're in a partnership with that person's mind. You're in a relationship right now. You're in a relationship with that person's mind. So that's why the mind is important. Because how are we cultivating our minds? What are you reading? What are you watching? What are you listening to? These are the things that help us to activate that mindset, that millionaire's mindset. It helps us to activate it. And when you know who you are and you have a level of confidence, there's nothing that can knock you off your square. What I mean by that is this whole year I try to teach things that will enlighten us, that will educate us, that will inform us, that will uplift us. But I always wanted us to be in a position to where we control life and the world the way that we want it, and that life doesn't control us. What I mean by that is that, yes, when we go into 2026, there may be some things that happen that's outside of our control. Things that happen with the government, things that happen on the world axis, but it doesn't mean that we still can't create the life that we want. Because a lot of times when we see things happening on the news and in the world, we get afraid, or we get that fear paralyzes us, and to the point where we don't move, we don't operate. But when you know who you are, when you understand what your assignment is and what your goals and what you're manifesting, you don't let anything stop you. Because really the only person that can stop you is you. And I believe that as long as you stay true and connected and you continue to operate in these principles, I've always believed that you're going to be in the right place at the right time to meet the right people. Now, I've always said this, and let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. This is a affirmation. This is a declaration that I say all the time. The universe will always take care of you. And when I mean that wholeheartedly. The universe will always take care of you. You know why? Because the universe will always mirror what you have within you. So as long as you know your purpose, as long as you know who you are, as long as you operate in confidence, as long as you operate in your emotion, your emotional stability, as long as you operate with vision, with insight, You know that as within, so without. So you really don't have to worry about how things are going to unfold. Your main job is just to work the inside. It's just to work the inside. One of the things that I love to do, and I tell you guys this all the time, is I love to decree, declare, speak out loud. When you start really awakening and activating the millionaire's mindset, you're going to start saying stuff like, I am a master architect of my financial destiny. My mind is the vault of infinite supply. My ideas multiply in favor and wealth. I see wealth, I shape wealth, and I spend wealth with intention. Money responds to my vibration. I circulate money with gratitude and purpose. Opportunities and resources flow to me easily. I embody the millionaire mind. My imagination manufactures miracles. I expand in clarity and confidence every day. I am worthy of luxury and overflow. My inner economy is strong and stable. I receive without guilt and give without fear. I release every belief that blocks my abundance. My vibration aligns with prosperity. My intuition is my wealth compass. I magnetize divine opportunities. My life displays continuous increase. Everything I touch elevates and multiplies. I live as the millionaire mind, and the universe obeys. As within, so without. That's why I wanted you guys to really lock in with those wealth codes, because those wealth codes are so important, ladies and gentlemen. You are activating your millionaire mindset, right? But you want to know what your wealth code is, and you want to work with that code, and you want to meditate on that code. Why? Because everybody has a different code. So yes, everybody listening to me now, you are going to activate the millionaire's mindset within you. But every one of us are going to be able to manifest and build wealth and build success differently, because we're not the same. Everybody's different. And so when you learn what your wealth code is, your wealth code gives you the individuation, the individuality of how I need to go about building wealth, building finances, getting money. Everybody's different. And so that's something that's a great insight, because many of us could have been doing the right thing in the wrong place, or we could have been we could have been jacked up. We could have not knowing what we need to do, following somebody else, and how they get money is not how we were supposed to get money, or how we were supposed to build wealth. And so when you understand what your wealth code is, it gives you specifically how you get money, how you build wealth, how you move into this world of a millionaire. And so this is what we do. This is how we transcend. This is how we move into this new paradise. Listen, 2026 is going to be the year of new beginnings. A lot of changes are coming, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of changes. 2025 is the year of endings. So what I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, A lot of things in the year 2025 will not go into 2026. There are going to be major changes. And listen, I'm telling you this because these things are outside of our control and will happen on the world axis. But in the midst of that, you can't allow those things to give you fear, to paralyze you, but to stick with your plan. Listen, I have a book coming out. I taught, if you go back in the archives, you can see we talked about vision board mastery. But anyway, I wrote a book on vision board mastery. But what I did was I incorporated it with astrology because I believe that you can't really manifest anything if you don't know who you are. And astrology gives you your blueprint. It gives me your x-ray of who you are. It tells me exactly who you are. And if you're going to create a vision board, you need to do it based on who you are. The same way with the wealth codes. You know, I can't have everybody can't build wealth and become a millionaire the same way because we're not the same people. You know, so some of us will do it in many different ways based on how we were born in this incarnation. And that's why the self-identity, the self-awareness is important. Everybody must first know who they are. And so, once again, that's why I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, schedule a consultation with me and let's get together and really sit down and really get you in the right place at the right time to remove confusion, remove doubt, and remember who's in your ear will determine your year. And so if you are in this community, we believe that you will be in the right place in the right position because you have us in your ear. And so, you know, I'm extremely excited about that. And I'm extremely excited about your future. Somebody may say, well, Issachar, you know, what happens when we activate this millionaire mindset? You know, what are some of the things that we can expect? One of the things that I see automatically is number one, there's going to be a major energy shift within you, which means that if you activate the millionaire mindset within you, realize everything is happening inside, ladies and gentlemen. And this is the thing that really blows people's minds. If you have never experienced what I'm talking about, as you get ready to experience it, it's going to really shock you because you activating your millionaire mindset is something that's done inside. Nobody knows. It's not a party. It's not an announcement. It's no big write-up. You're not putting on social media. This is something that you're doing within you. When you do that, people outside of you in your physical reality will notice a shift in you. But the things that will happen is this. Wealth becomes natural. You will begin to have endless creative ideas. Why? Because money chases great ideas. You will have an emotional peace around money. So you won't feel confusion. You won't feel fear or lack. You will have a heightened intuition. You will have an attraction to new opportunities. And listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. You will have an attraction of new opportunities. But what happens is this. If there are no opportunities, you will create them. You will have an elevated self-worth. You will have a deeper spiritual clarity. You'll have stronger boundaries, which means that you're not allowing things on the outside to get to you. You're not allowing disruption or discord or drama or any of the things that you used to dwell in. They won't. Your boundaries will be set. You will have a conscious circulation, which means that consciousness is your only reality. You realize that me activating the millionaire mindset within myself allows me to operate in consciousness. Everything is consciousness. Everything is circulation. It will allow you to make better financial structures. It will allow you to make high quality connections. Because life gives you what you become, which means if I activate the millionaire mindset, then I start to gravitate towards people of that mindset, people of that way of life. And so people who are millionaires are high quality. So I will start connecting to them. You'll also experience a quantum leap in income. Why? Because I told you earlier, you'll have a lot of ideas. Guess what? Money chases ideas. You'll have a magnetic presence because you will understand that you are a magnet and you attract what you are. You attract what you are. And if you are activating a millionaire mindset, then you will attract it. Magnetic presence. You will have emotional stability. So you won't be worrying about, oh man, I can't do this, I can't do that. What about this? There's an emotional stability that I find is very, very good when you can go to sleep at night because you're not worrying about this and worrying about that. That emotional stability is almost priceless. You'll have a purpose-driven expansion, a life of overflow, which means more than enough. You'll have more than enough. You'll have freedom from scarcity. You'll have sustainable long-term wealth. Why? Because millionaires don't think short-term, they think long-term. They don't live for today, they live for generations. So you start accumulating things, maybe stocks, investments, real estate, things that will sustain you for the long term. You will also get a divine connection to an infinite supply because you realize that the infinite supply comes from within. You also will become the walking embodiment of abundance. And so I think that that's very, very imperative that once you activate this millionaire mindset, think like a millionaire, walk like a millionaire, talk like a millionaire. You start reading money magazines. You start looking at things and things that probably were already in your view, but you just never paid attention to it. Once you activate that millionaire mindset, things just start to appear to you, So it changes the game, ladies and gentlemen. And I think that going into 2026, everybody needs to activate that millionaire mindset. And step into 2026 the right way, that we all can become a better version of ourselves. But what's the plan? Where are we going? I'm expecting 2026 to be a phenomenal year for me. I know it's going to be hard work. I know there's a lot that I have to do, but I'm willing to put the work in because I know what the outcome is. Why? Because as within, so without. So I know if I go within and put this and work on the inside of things that I need to get done, I'm expecting 2026 to probably be one of the best years of my life. And I understand that, and I move with that, and I go with that. But I want you to understand and put yourself in that position so that we all can win. That we all can take the steps to create opportunities, to create new businesses, to create with all of the stuff. Guess what? There's AI. There's people who are afraid of AI. People are afraid that they're going to lose their job, and they're afraid of this and that. Sit down, talk to me. Let's talk about it. Let's look at some things. Whatever your concerns are, whatever your fears, your thoughts, let's take a look at it before we get into 2026. Because once we cross over into 2026, it's time to go. It's go time. And so I believe that we will be in the right place at the right time to receive and be connected to some great opportunities. And so I'm excited about your future. I'm excited about our future. Now, if this teaching today has been a blessing to you, or if you're saying, you know what, Issachar, I followed you for a while now, and you know you've really been teaching us, you've really been, you know, connected to us, and you know, I really want to be a blessing to your organization, and you don't charge us. You come on every week, and we want to be a blessing to you. We want to pour into you just like you pour into us. If that's you and you're listening and you're saying, I want to be a blessing, I want to support, there's 4 ways that you can do that. The first way is going to be Cash App. It's going to be $TOESC, and all of the ways to give are also in the bottom of the description. That's going to be $TOESC. The second way is going to be Zelle or PayPal, and that's going to be info, INFO, at TOESC.org. That's going to be info at TOESC.org. And then we also have, and that's going to be for PayPal and Zelle. And then we also have Venmo. And if you want to use Venmo, it's going to be Issachar Bey at gmail.com. It's going to be ISSACHAR BEY at gmail.com. And so if that's you and you want to make that donation, you want to circulate, because we believe that everybody that sows into this ministry, everybody that sows into this organization, we believe that you will receive that circulation, which means that we believe that you will receive 100 return back on whatever it is that you sow into this ministry and sow into this organization. And as we get ready for 2026, the sky's the limit, ladies and gentlemen. The only person that can stop you is you. You can't blame it on this. You can't blame it on that. We can't blame it on the government. We can't blame it on, because believe it or not, when you get in a consultation with me, I will open your mind and show you things that will blow your mind that you would not believe, of the power, the resources, the things that we have right in our midst. And we're so busy looking at everybody else that we have everything we need right in front of us. So I think it's imperative that we win in the game of life, ladies and gentlemen, and that we start to experience life like we want to. So once again, I want to thank all of you. Please hit the share button, share this broadcast with 5 people, hit the like button, also subscribe. And I believe that everybody listening under the sound of my voice, if you begin to start activating the millionaire mindset within, your life will never be the same. And once you change your life, everybody around you, life begins to change. Your children, your mother, your father, your parents, your siblings, your co-workers. And believe it or not, if you become a millionaire mindset and you activate it, you might not have any co-workers anymore, because most likely you're moving to entrepreneurship. So you'll see that happening. But I want to thank all of you for tuning in today. And I want to thank you for awakening the millionaire mindset within you. I want you to know that your destiny is not a matter of chance, but it's a matter of choice. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it.